Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi asserted Egypt's keenness on continuing its role in spreading the principles of moderation and tolerance and peaceful coexistence through all its religious institutions, the top of them Al-Azhar, and in cooperation with the European Union, its member states and the entire world. The President stressed that Egypt is ready to contribute out of its responsibility and its ancient civilization for the sake of nations and the humanity at large, saying it will continue to provide all experience and capabilities to reach the aspired goal of peaceful coexistence. This came in a phone call the President received from the President of the European Council, Charles Michel. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassem Radi said that the call tackled means of boosting bilateral cooperation to confront extremism and achieve civilized coexistence among religions.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on Sunday inspected a number of projects and construction sites in the new administrative capital to follow up with the executive status of the projects and achievements being realized so far. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassem Radi said that the President inspected the Banks District and Egypt's Islamic Culture Center, in addition to a number of sectors and housing units, plus the government district that includes the headquarters of the governmental authorities such as the Cabinet, the Parliament and the Senate Council, among others. The head of state instructed to abide by the precautionary measures to avoid a spread of the coronavirus among workers at various constructional sites.
Egyptians abroad start on Monday printing ballots for the parliamentary election vote. Egyptians abroad are to send their ballots via mail on the day scheduled for the voting in the second phase of the elections on the 4th, 5th and 6th of November. Meanwhile, the operation room for following up the voting process of the Egyptian abroad started its work. Under the supervision of the Minister of Immigration and Egyptian expatriates Nabila Makram, the operation room is to answer questions of the voters. The operation room works in cooperation with the National Election Authority. Egyptians are to send their ballots by mail, embassies and consulates instead of voting in person as part of precautionary measures to curb the spread of coronavirus. During the voting process in the second phase of the parliamentary elections, voters from 13 governorates are to cast their ballots. And for more on the expats voting in parliamentary elections, we are joined by Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Bayoumi, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
How are you, sir? Ambassador Bayoumi, the parliamentary elections are held amid precautionary measures for the coronavirus. How do you see the process of arranging the vote for the Egyptian expats?
We are between two dimensions here, that we have to continue doing our duties. At the same time, we have to continue taking care of our health, because this is a serious matter also. But thank God that, of course, there are several measures, not only for the elections, but for the normal life to take place. And we need that. Otherwise, we have to live with this challenge. And I think Egypt especially is doing fine. And as of our Egyptians living abroad, as a diplomat, I say that this is a very good opportunity for me and for my colleagues in order to be in direct contact with all the Egyptians living abroad. Yes. We are always seeking occasions in order to make these sort of contacts, because it makes our citizens, especially the new generation who is not in good contact with Egypt, because they do not come frequently, especially now. Yes. We want them to feel that they have their family home abroad, and they can contact it not only for the election, but for any thing they need to have. And whenever a diplomat like myself is working abroad, we think that an Egyptian who wants to have a cup of coffee Egyptian style, he shouldn't be hesitant to come and knock the door and talk to us.
Yes. Ambassador Bayoumi, how important is the expats vote in the parliamentary elections from your point of view?
We give very, very great of importance to this fact, because we want them to be involved in our life.
Yes, indeed.
By voting to choose their representative, also by having a special number or a certain number of seats for the Egyptians living abroad, because this is a good part of our Egyptian citizens. And if we say that we have 11 million Egyptians living abroad, this is almost 10% of Egypt.
Yes.
This is not a joke. We have to give it all its weight in our life. And I think our government is doing fine in order to attract them, whether by the electoral process or by being themselves representatives to the Egyptians living abroad.
Yes, indeed. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, always a pleasure to listen to your precious input, sir. Thank you very much.
And moving on with our bulletin, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed on Monday on the importance of citizens abiding by the precautionary measures against the coronavirus to avoid decisions that have harsh economic impact on certain brackets. This came during a video conference meeting for the Supreme Committee for Managing the Coronavirus Crisis. The meeting came amid an increase in the daily reported cases in many countries worldwide. The Prime Minister noted that some countries implemented full lockdown, adding that this should prompt us to abide by the precautionary measures to avoid reaching this stage of harsh decisions. Madbouli said that fines will be enforced for those who violate the rules of wearing face masks in transportation modes, malls, schools, universities, and public places. The Prime Minister also said that funds were allocated for buying medical supplies needed in isolation hospitals and for at-home treatment protocols.
Foreign and irrigation ministers from Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia started talks on how to resume negotiations on the Ethiopian's dam. The talks are attended by legal and technical teams from the three countries, in addition to observers from the European Union and the African Union, as well as the United States. The talks cover the outcome of the foreign ministers' meeting on the 27th of October. During the meeting, the delegations reviewed proposals to resume negotiations. Egypt reiterated the importance of implementing the African Union resolutions on reaching a legal binding agreement on the filling, operating of the dam that fulfills the interests of the three countries and guarantee their water rights. The delegation agreed on holding a meeting on Monday for technical and legal experts. The recommendations are to be submitted to the ministers on Tuesday.
The Ministry of Health reported on Sunday 181 new coronavirus infections. The statement also reported 12 new deaths, bringing the total number of fatalities to 6,278. The ministry added that the number of those who recovered rose to 99,555 people.
Globally,